morning, everybody. My name is Katie. Want to welcome you to our bubble. It is a beautiful day here in Central Kentucky, Zone 6B, and we are already in the garden this morning. I came out to pick some beets, got my little buckets, and realized that I got to pick beans, and I didn't even realize it's only been a couple of days. Since I checked them, they just grow so fast. So I had to go back and I had to pull out the big guns. The big guns that Kevin is sitting in. We needed the red wagon. So today we are going to be picking beets and beans, and we are going to be canning as well. So we will end up back in the kitchen. It's already getting hot out here. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. We're not supposed to be too horribly hot today, just maybe the high 70s. So that's not too bad. But I want to get the garden work done early and go on and get in the kitchen and get things going. I grow a long slender bean called a Maxibel. This is one of the best tasting beans that I've ever had. No pulling out strings. They are a bush bean, and this bean is perfect. That's a pretty good haul. The beans I'm actually just going to put in a plastic bag in the refrigerator until I can pick again, which that will only be a couple of days, and then we'll worry about canning up beans. But got quite a few beets. So now that we're done out here in the garden, we're going to head back into the kitchen and we're going to get these beets canned up. Now we definitely want to have our apron on for this one. Beets stain everything. We'll see. I'll probably get some on my wooden cutting board as well, but it does go away eventually. I've cut beets on this before and you can't tell. So first things first, if you are new to canning, you need a ball blue book. I've been canning for 15 years. I still rely on this book every time I can, just because I can't remember how long to can this or how long to can that. And do I pressure can? Do I hot water bath? Now, normally things that are lower in acid, you do have to pressure can. So we don't want botulism. We're going to go by what they say in here on canning our beets. Looks like we got to wash the beets, and we actually leave a little of the stem and the taproot on them. And then we boil them until the skin will pull off. So we're going to do that now. Now, before I get started on washing, I do want to say that I am washing them in a container because I don't want all the dirt to go down my drain. Mainly because we're on a gray water system. Our water from the sink all goes around the house and down the front and into my treed section. So the dirt's not going to hurt anything. My biggest concern is that it will pile up in the pipes, and we don't want that either. Now we've got our water starting to boil. And then once it starts boiling, that's quite the pile of beets. Look at that one. And we're going to get these in the water. Our water's actually starting to boil a little bit, so I'm going to go on and put the beets in so that they can be heating right along with the water. I do have a tool to put the beets in because it might splash. I don't want to get burned. And don't forget that beets are a powerhouse of nutrition. Dark red color means they're really high in antioxidants, which we need to help fight cancer. They're also really high in fiber. And they are not just blood red for no reason. Beets are really good to help with blood flow and to clean out the blood. So even if you don't like beets, find some way to get them in your diet. That's what I've done and am still doing. Okay. See if I can do this without dropping. There we go. The water is already red. That just amazes me. So now we'll let them boil and try to get the skins off of them. I also did get another pot to put some clean water in to boil because I don't want to put this water in my canning jars because I can already see stuff floating that I didn't wash off of them. So this water will go to compost and we'll get some fresh water. And then I've got the dishwasher running with my jars and my rings in there, and that's how I heat and sanitize them. So I won't actually pull them out of the dishwasher until I'm ready to fill them. The beets have to boil basically kind of like a potato until you can poke it with a fork and it's mushy. You know that it's done. So, and we've got our other pot, water heating up of our clean water. And so now we're just waiting on our beets to be done, and then we'll run them under a little bit of cold water just so that they are cool enough that I can handle them and peel them. And then we'll get them jarred up and canned up, and we're good to go. Oh, it's really hot. Whew. beet facial. Okay, these are super hot. Now that we've run our beets under some cold water, they're still pretty hot. But we're going to go on and try and peel them because we want them to stay warm to be canned anyway. We're going to do trusty paper towel. Cut the head off. I'm going to cut the little tail off. And then we're just going to rub the paper towel on it. Oh, that's pretty hot. Look, there's all of our peel. It's in the paper towel. Nice, right? That makes things a little easier. And then we're going to throw our beets in our other boiling water so that they stay hot. Now, just in case the paper towel does not work, I do have a paring knife. But I'm not overly concerned about getting all the peel off. Like, see, this one didn't want to come off very well. So maybe we'll just take the knife and try to get some more of it off. And yes, this beet is very hot. Oh. We're going to speed things up. This is going to take a few minutes. It's just amazing. Nature is just so cool. It makes me want to tie-dye something. Okay, now that we've got this done and our beets are ready to go in the jars, the dishwasher is finished. So I'm going to clean up a little bit and wash my hands, and then we're going to pack these in some jars. Oh, but while I'm doing that, we need to have the water in our canner heating up. So go on and turn your canner on high. We have around 2 to 3 inches of water in our pressure canner. Once we get it loaded, our pressure canner will run for 30 minutes once the pressure is up where it should be. And then it'll take about an hour for it to cool down. Now, we are ready to go. Got our lids. Whoop. We are using wide mouth jars today just because I think it would be easier to get the beets in there. So our jars are nice and warm out of the dishwasher and sanitized. I do have a chopstick to get out the bubbles. We don't want to use a metal knife or anything, so this works great. This is called a Pickle Packer. It's very handy. Now we want to fill our jars until they come just right to the rim. Oh, that's perfect. Fabulous. Make sure there's no excess water on our rim because that can cause you to not get a good seal. Rings only need to go on finger tight because you need to be able to get them off when you're finished. almost forgot. Just make sure there's no air bubbles in there. Even though you don't see any, there can be one hidden down in there. Wipe our rim off again. We got 6 jars in the canner, and that's good for me. The rest of the beets that are in the garden, we'll just eat them fresh, either with a little honey on top, which is in another video, which I will put the link at the end of this video to that video, or cook them on the grill. My canner actually has, there's a little arrow that tells you how to put the lid on. And then you just turn to lock it. And where a lot of canners actually have a gauge to tell you what your pressure is at, mine does not. I just have a weight. We are at 10 pounds of pressure, which is this one little ring. It did come with another ring, but I have no need for it. So I'm not really for sure where it is. And then what we'll do is, once this starts steaming a little bit, I'll put this on, and then it'll start ticking after a few minutes, and that's when we start our timer for our 30 minutes, and we turn our heat down a little bit. I don't know if you can see it yet. There is a little steam coming up out of our middle here. So that tells me that it's time to put my weight on. And something else that we have to look for is our little pressure valve over here. It will pop up, and it will stay up once the pressure is almost where you want it. Now, the pressure valve it leaks a little bit just from the steam trying to escape out of it. And the fact that I have a glass top stove, I'm pretty careful about that. I don't want it to run down and get on the stove, because it could cause water to get trapped under my pot, which could break my stove. So we're going to get a towel. Another thing, a lot of people are afraid to pressure can. I don't know with modern pressure canners if you have to worry so much about them blowing up. I've been canning for 15 years with this canner. It has a little valve here that if something were to happen and it were to build up too much steam, this would pop out first before it would blow up all over my kitchen. Oh, see, we're all popped up. So now we're just waiting on this to start ticking, and it's very loud. So here we go. Now, once we get to this part that it's moving all the time, you can hear it bubbling really well, we're going to turn our heat down to medium high. Just about 6 on my stove. The reason we're doing this is we do not want the pressure to build up too much, but we still need to keep it boiling. Now we set our timer for 30 minutes. Okay, now our 30 minutes is up, so we're going to shut our heat off, and then we're actually going to move the pot off of the burner so it starts cooling. And now we wait until the pressure goes completely down. And we do this by watching this little plug right here, our pressure valve. And once it goes down, we are safe to open our pot. So now that we're cooled down, our pressure has gone down, and if we take our weight off, we're good. It took about 30 minutes for the pressure valve to go down, and then I waited around another 30 minutes just to make sure. Now, when you open this, you do want to open it away from you because it still has steam. It's still really hot. Let's take a look. I'm so excited. Isn't that beautiful? They are so pretty. And it looks like to me, yeah, they've all already sealed where I left them in the canner a little bit longer, which, poo. I like to hear the pop when they seal. Thanks to everybody for being here with me today, and I hope to see you on the next one. Good luck canning your beets. Bye.